Welcome into another episode of Green with Envy Quick Hits. Last time on the podcast, Will and I reacted to the big news that Jaylen Brown has inked a 5-year, $304 million extension. Once again, shout out to Jaylen for locking down that generational wealth. As you all that listen to the podcast know, JB has been my favorite Celtics player since he joined the team. And just as a fan, I couldn't be happier for the guy. But y'all know, with more money comes more problems. And since the news broke, I've had so many people reaching out to me with their thoughts and opinions on whether or not Jaylen can live up to this contract. And it seems pretty split. But one thing is consistent. Almost everyone I've talked to agrees that they're just really interested to see what areas Jaylen Brown focuses on now that he no longer has to worry about money. Like, in the wake of Marcus Smart's departure, will JB recommit to being that defensive difference maker as he suggested in his press conference? Will he be okay playing off ball and being a quote-unquote play finisher, as our friend Adam Taylor likes to say? Will he rededicate himself to his spot-up shooting, specifically from the corners with the addition of Kristaps Porzingis? Little fun stat for you. In 2019-2020, Jaylen shot 95 threes from the corners, shooting 48.4%. This past season, Jaylen shot 65 corner threes, shooting only 28%. Comment below what you think Jaylen's best role will be moving forward now that he doesn't have to worry about how his numbers will affect his bottom line. Also, on the last pod, while Will and I were discussing how Jaylen might invest his money, Will suggested JB would follow along the similar paths of Jalen Rose and LeBron James, who both have their own schools, and look to reinvest that into the community and the educational system. And my man Will, it looks like you were right. At his press conference, Jaylen made it clear why it was so important for him to stay in Boston and why we on Green with Envy have always been so adamant that his importance goes far beyond just the basketball court.
What do you plan to do with the generational wealth? I mean, what do you plan to do off and on the floor with this new contract?
Well, that's a great question. I want to launch a project to bring Black Wall Street here to Boston. I want to attack the wealth disparity here. I think there's analytics that supports that, stimulating the wealth gap could actually be something that could be betterment for the entire economy. With the biggest financial deal in NBA history, it makes sense to talk about, one, your investment in community, but two, also, the wealth disparity here that nobody wants to talk about. It's top 5 in the U.S. It's something that we can all improve on. It's unsettling. And I think through my platform, through influential partners, through selected leaders, government officials, a lot who are in this room, that we can come together and create new jobs, new resources, new businesses, new ideas that could, highlight minorities, but also stimulate the economy and the wealth gap at the same time. I think that could be a mix of commercial entities, real estate, residentials as well. Boston could be, a fully integrated, self-sufficient, hub, attacking minorities and stimulating the wealth gap. I think Boston could be a pilot, not just for wealth disparity here in the U.S., but also for around the world. So you asked me what I wanted to do or what I want to do. One, I want to, attack that wealth gap here in Boston, create a project. Also, I want to help stimulate the overall economy, and I want to bring Black Wall Street here to Boston.
In a city where its minority population is often overlooked, Jaylen made some big statements as to what he wants to accomplish now that he knows he will be in the bean long term. Whether it's through the Juice Foundation or Jaylen's declaration that he wants to bring Black Wall Street to Boston, as Wick Grosbeck mentioned, Jaylen Brown is continuing the legacy of the legend Bill Russell, finding new ways to empower minority voices in a city that, quite frankly, desperately needs it. Comment below whether you think Jaylen's statements from his press conference have affected your opinion on this historic extension, because I'm just really interested to see how many people are weighing the impact that Jaylen will have on the city when they see this $304 million contract. Well, that's it. That's it for this episode of Green with Envy Quick Hits. This is Greg Maneikis. Until the next time, everybody. Peace.